We begin with the politics of medicine, a petition presented at Parliament containing 11,000 signatures calling for the funding of Keytruda for advanced melanoma. Was it an emotive squeaky wheel seeking very expensive oil? Was it terribly ill people fighting desperately for their lives? Was it a legitimate attempt to address a gap in Pharmac's funding? Tonight we look at all of that. We also look at the drug currently available for the treatment of metastasized melanoma. It's a form of chemotherapy called the carbazine. Pharmac minutes from 2012 describe it, and I quote, as ineffective for most patients. More on that later. But that brings us to the lobbying for the new alternative, an expensive form of immunotherapy. Again, I quote from Pharmac, for Pharmac to justify an investment of this size, we'd need to see more certainty of benefit in the evidence. Now, Leisa Renwick was the petition organiser. Having been given 3 weeks to live in May of last year, she funded Keytruda herself, and the cancer that was killing her is now in remission. I spoke to her shortly after she passed over the petition to Health Minister Jonathan Coleman.
I'm very pleased that he came down and heard us, and I'm very pleased that he's walking around and talking to other melanoma patients. I hope it lasts beyond today. I hope it lasts beyond the cameras, when the cameras disappear after today. I hope he keeps talking to us, because we really do need these drugs funded now. We can't live on a promise. There is nothing else. I don't think most New Zealanders understand. There's nothing else for melanoma patients. There's no other hope than to get access to these drugs. And because it's such a fast-acting disease, as we both know, if it takes a couple of months, people will be dead. Some of the people standing here today will be dead. And somebody has to be held accountable for that. Because we live in a country where if you get sick, you should be able to go to the hospital, and there should be a treatment plan for you. There should be a team that comes and helps you. And in this country, it's not the doctor's fault, but they have nothing to offer but to ask you how much money you have.
Lisa,
exactly
people have said this is a motive. People have said there shouldn't be lobbying through the media. People have said this is not the appropriate way to go about it. What is your response to that?
Well, then I'd really like to know what the appropriate way is, because Pharmac has no accountability. There's no disputes process. There's no way to appeal if they've made a wrong decision. They do a lot of really good stuff, and I know that there's some good people working there, but if they make a mistake, if they refuse to treat patients, if they refuse to recognise medication that's been recognised in Australia and Canada and the UK as being effective, there's no option but to go to the media. There's no other way to appeal that decision. So those people, please tell me what the appropriate avenue is. I'd love to know.
Did you feel comforted by what the Minister said? Do you now think this is on the table? No, because there's no certainty in what he said. I mean, I am thankful that he's come down. It was nice to finally meet him, but you can make vague promises, can't you? But that provides no certainty to people who need hope. They need to know when they're going to get hold of this medicine. I mean, when I was waiting to get treatment, and I had the ability to pay for it, my family had to work hard to keep me alive, even for those few weeks. How long are these people going to have to wait? They need this medicine now. So no, we need some certainty. We need more precise information. I hope that Dr. Coleman has now opened up a dialogue. I hope that patients now have the ability to actually speak to him and provide their input. Because to make decisions without getting a patient perspective, well, that's wrong. I mean, this is a motive. It's a motive because there are people dying. And there's no way to step around that. It's a fact. Dr. Coleman's opened up a dialogue with you, but that's very different from the Minister talking to Pharmac. And in fact, he says it's not appropriate for him to talk to Pharmac.
Call me a cynic, John, but I'm pretty sure he talks to Pharmac. If he doesn't, I'd actually, again, like to know who it is that Pharmac's accountable to if it's not the Minister of Health. I mean, is that not the Minister of Health's job? They have to be accountable to someone. They spend $800 million worth of taxpayer funds every year.
Yeah.
Gosh, they have to be accountable. If not, they should be.
You, Leisa, you cited an example of other government spending. Did you get the opportunity to say that to the Minister, Jonathan Coleman, himself, and what did you say?
I said that when they speak about having no spare money in the budget, I'm surrounded by the national flag here. It's flapping all around me. Not the National Party flag, the New Zealand national flag, I hasten to add. And all I can think of is $27 million. Now, the estimates I've heard for funding pembrolizumab for a year are between $15 and $20 million. That's less than the price of the flag referendum. If we have money to spend on that, surely we have money to spend saving people's lives. Surely that's more important. And if it's not, at least come down, look people in the face and tell them that the flag is more important than they are. Tell them that pandas and farms in Saudi Arabia are more important. Look them in the eye and tell them the truth, and don't pretend that it's nothing to do with them.